Yeah, it's doing that thing again where it doesn't connect to the Facebook group, so we'll just roll with it.
Okay.
All right, we're live. Welcome everybody. What's going on, Adrian?
What's happening? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So just to introduce you really quick, Adrian Boysel, you are the founder of Brand Butler AI and a social impact entrepreneur. Why don't you take a moment to introduce yourself to everybody, tell them a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Awesome. It's great to be here. Like I said, my name is Adrian Boysel. I'm a 20-year marketing veteran. Started my business back in '05 as a little side hustle while I was doing club promotions and events and things like that, and ended up taking it full time in 2007. Opened up a brick and mortar design studio, learned how to design right in front of my clients, sharpened my axe on their dollar, and got really good at graphic design. Ended up selling that company in 2011, then transitioned into being a freelance consultant, marketing consultant, doing design and websites and SEO and paid ads and all that stuff, and got deep into the home services space. And from there, opened up a brick and mortar agency, which is what I've been doing ever since. And we are, for the last 14 months, I've been working on our AI software, which has been an incredible journey, but also a lot of learning and a lot of stumbling along the way.
Yeah, for sure. And you showed me the software. It's amazing. Maybe you can talk about like what sparked your interest in that and what caused you to kind of say, hey, this is the future. This is the direction I want to go in.
Well, if you read a lot like I do, a lot of these books always tell you that you get paid in proximity and proportion to the value that you bring to the world, right? So the size of the problem that you solve is value-based selling and problem-based selling. And so I started looking at the different problems that I saw and looking for the patterns. And that's something I've always been good at since I was a little kid. I was the first to spot the Razor scooters, first to notice that Pokemon cards were going to be a huge thing. Like just I started buying and collecting those at a young age. So I've always kind of been an early adopter and seen things before they popped off and been kind of joined in as part of spreading that trend. It's just kind of how I am as the campaigner personality type that I have. And so I've seen the same thing with AI. But one of the bigger problems that I've seen was the fact that out of the 5,000 clients that I've met face to face with, just like this, well over 5,000 people, I asked them the same question. Hey, can I see your marketing plan? Or hey, do you have a marketing plan? One of the two of those questions, and every single time, 999 out of 1,000 times, they're like, I don't have a marketing plan. I'm like, what do you mean you don't have a marketing plan? And I was taught by somebody, Mr. Dighton Bradford. I don't know if he's retired by now, but at that time when he was teaching me, he was in his late 60s. And so I was taught by a gentleman who had been doing marketing for 36 years at that point. And I got to sit with him for 2.5 years, right side by side, shoulder to shoulder, and ask him a million questions. He had his PhD, his master's degree, and he taught me the science of marketing and the science and the importance of marketing planning and how so many people out there are so reliant on just tactics and not actual fundamental strategies. And they're not clear with their objectives and what the outcomes are going to be. And so I really got to learn from the master, from the sensei and the guru, the real guru of the space. And so I saw an opportunity to take my creative gifts along with the strategic planning and the science, which is kind of how my brain works. I'm more of a learned creative and a learned designer just from doing it my whole life versus a natural designer and creative. But I function highly on the creative side, but also on the analytical side. That's where I love to be, is that technical growth hacker kind of stuff. So I was enamored with the science and the strategic side of marketing. So I was able to combine those two things. It really gave me a unique edge of that creative side and that strategic side. And so building out marketing plans was just something I made a normal practice for every client that I worked with. If I was going to put my name and reputation on doing a marketing campaign for that person, I want to know that it's going to work. And the way that
Yeah.
I'm going to do that is by actually having a written plan and going, hey, Mr. Client, do you like this? Do you agree with this? Does this resonate with you? Is this on par? And so between that and the brand strategy, when I got those two things right, it made marketing campaigns so much more successful. As an agency owner, you're not going to win them all, right? If you bring on 100 clients over the course of, let's just say, 5 years, you may have 20 of those clients be successful if you just do it the normal way that most people are doing it. But if you
Mhm.
actually have a plan and you can double, if not triple those success rates, now you have something really special. People are going to stick around. And that's why I have clients that have still been with me since 2015, 2016, 2018, 2019, right? I have clients that have been with me for years and years and years, which is not normal in the agency space. And because I set the consultation piece up front and they pay for that consultation and they pay good money for it and I lay the groundwork, there's a lot more trust in the relationship. So for me, it's when I created the Brand Butler software with my business partner, the whole entire goal was to create a system that would scale me. Because I have all this knowledge, all these frameworks, all these books, all this stuff in my head. But what good is it if I can't scale it? And I'm the bottleneck in my own agency for all the revenue that's generated. So that was the problem that I was trying to solve, was how do I create a duplicate of myself? I want to be able to hire consultants, bring them in, train them on those things, and then turn around and be able to have them become salespeople. So now I free myself up to focus on what I really love to do, and that's to teach and to lead communities and to get on stages and get onto podcasts.
Brilliant. Yeah. So you're able to leverage AI to kind of like dump your brain, your frameworks, your strategies, and essentially like replicate yourself on a strategic level to implement this more at scale.
That's
So
right.
would love to hear more about your take on creating strategies, because a lot of businesses I work with too, they don't have the fundamentals down, and they're trying all these tactics, spaghetti method, or
Yeah.
just trying these quick one-off things that get short-term results but don't last long-term. So, what's your approach when it comes to actually formulating a strategy? And maybe you can talk too about how you use your software to help people with that.
So there's three pillars to it that I've built. I built a whole Miro board for this. I've got it written on a piece of paper. It's what my system is trained on, and it's branding, marketing, and sales. Those are the three key pieces. And there's three pillars within each of those. Under branding, you have your story, your niche, and identity. Under marketing, you have your lead or your prospect, your lead, and your customer. And under sales, you have your offer, your pitch, and your process. And then you can even go deeper within each of those, right? Story has three pillars, niche has three pillars, identity has three pillars. And so I take people really deep into their business and give them that clarity that they're lacking. Because so many people are overthinkers, myself included, you could spend hours, days, weeks, months, and sometimes years overthinking, over planning, and over strategizing, whenever actually putting anything down on paper or really creating a plan that you can then go teach, delegate, and find other people to take those tasks off of your plate. Because our most valuable thing that we have is our time. That's the most limited resource. There's an endless amount of money, right? There's no limit to how much money you can go out and make, but there's no way to create more time. And so you have to get really intentional in auditing your time every single day. It's why I do my power hour and look at the tasks that I'm spending my time on. If I'm doing consulting and I'm doing an hour-long consulting session with somebody, I'm making a minimum of $1,000 an hour. If I'm doing a graphic design task or building out a slide deck, those are jobs that I can fill for $10, $20, $30, $50 an hour at the most, at the peak of that. So it actually costs me $950 an hour if I'm designing a pitch deck, right? So I have to be very intentional about where I'm dedicating my time to. And so what the Brand Butler tool has allowed me to do is the 2.5 hour process that I used to go through with clients doing these brand strategies sessions one-on-one for $2,500, I can now do in less than half the time, about an hour from start to finish. So it streamlined my process, made it cleaner, easier. I asked them the same question, which produces this consistent positive outcome. And now I have a PDF document that I don't have to even go to after the fact. Because when those sessions were done, and I was done with that 2-3 hour session for $2,500, the next thing I have to do is go fill out and take all the information I collected and then go create a document for them to lay it all out. So now I don't have to do any of that stuff. And it's saved me, it's collapsed time, it's saved me time, and it's added more value to the client. So technically, if I wanted to, I could probably, with the authority I've built, the positioning I've done, the tool that I have, and all of the people that I have behind me, I could probably charge $5,000 for a brand strategy session, or I could just send it off to one of my consultants that I'm certifying right now, and they can do it for $500, $1,000, right? So I have to be very intentional about where I'm putting my time, and that's what that tool has really given me, kind of superpowers, the ability to do. So those are the three pillars: as the branding, the marketing, and the sales. Marketing is also a really key piece. You got to have the plan, lead, again, prospect, lead, and customer, and understanding the phases and where you're weak. Right now, even in my own business, where I have neglected, I've been creating a lot of content, but my lead generation piece, I'm not running ads. There's a lot of things that I'm not doing that I should be doing to generate more leads to the different brands that I have. But that's because we're in the building phase and we're working on version 3.0 of Brand Butler, and we're not quite ready yet because we're launching our token. So we're not quite ready yet to start driving paid traffic or submitting our website for awards or putting our stuff on AppSumo or getting ranked on Product Hunt. Like, it's still early. We're not trying to rush to the finish line, we're trying to build every single piece correctly. And so we just haven't started generating leads yet. But that's the area that I'm weakest in right now, but not for long, right? 5 weeks from now, my certification program will be done. I'll have 10 salespeople out there doing what I can do, which wasn't the case 6 weeks or 12 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, for sure. So these salespeople, are you training them to like actively prospect, or are you going to run more automated lead gen for them to follow up with, or what's your vision there?
So there's going to be two pieces to it. What it is, it's the, let me show you this. This is the brand hacker certification program. And
Nice.
we created this program. It's a 12-week program where I'm teaching them branding, marketing, sales, and then I'm teaching them how to generate their own leads, content strategy. I teamed up with Mark DeGrasse from the president of Digital Marketer, and we're doing this in tandem together, along with Jim Padilla, who's Gained the Edge, who's a sales trainer. So I have three titans that have kind of come in to run this one program so that these people can be successful. I hired Jim, I hired Mark, actually paid them to do this with me and for this collaborative partnership. And so they're coming in and making sure that everybody is up to speed. But the two pieces that we're going to have, and this is kind of three, but the main piece is giving them the license to be able to sell our software and actually have the ability to sell our fulfillment services on the back end. So one of the things that's changing is we've been offering our agency services to businesses and to any business. If you want to hire us to do your SEO work or your organic marketing, we can do that. It's $5,000 a month. We're taking that off of the main page of the website, so it's focused solely on the software. And the only people we'll offer fulfillment services to are those brand
Mm.
hacker certified partners. They're the only ones, and they get a recurring commission on everything that we generate. So that's one way they're going to do it, and they get to keep all their consulting income that they make. And so we're going to be generating leads to our website through paid ads, YouTube, content creation, getting on stages, being the top title speaker for events like AI marketing. We're going to get those leads coming in that way. And every single branding blueprint and every single marketing plan has a video at the bottom with a button that says, if you need help integrating this plan, click this button and book a time with one of our certified experts. Then stage two is teaching them how to go out and self-generate, how to create content, how to create articles, how to go actually out and be an AI brand consultant. That's literally what we're creating. Is they are an AI brand consultant that knows how to use our software, similar to like a Salesforce consultant, right?
Hmm.
But they actually have fundamental strategies where they can do it without our software or with our software, right? If you disconnect Salesforce or Salesforce changes something dramatic, those Salesforce consultants are shit out of luck, right? So we have a business that they can go out and do consulting regardless if the software is there or not. And I'm teaching them the fundamentals so that whether they have the software or not. I'm not saying the software won't be there, but the software is just a drill versus a hammer and nails like most people are doing still.
Hmm. So you're going to have like a whole little affiliate army, so to speak. You're going to have a little team of sales reps and consultants out there that are motivated to generate their own leads, do the sales, bring people on board on your behalf, and then they're essentially making like recurring commissions, recurring revenue off of that.
Yep. And there's an affiliate program. So if they sign up clients, the first 100 affiliates that we have, I think we're in like the mid 30s right now. The first 100 affiliates get 50% recurring commission on the monthly memberships and any money that's paid in, because we have a token system now that we just launched. So you're paying above your actual monthly plan. You're paying for usage. So the monthly plans are dirt cheap, like 20, 50, and $100 a month for software, but there's a limited amount of usage because it's AI and the usage can go crazy if you're talking for 10 hours with a chat bot, right? So we bill for those credits. We have a token system. So they can make the split 50-50 split revenue on that. But then on top of that, on top of the split revenue, they have the ability to, losing my train of thought here. They have the ability to make the money on the tokens, on the affiliate program, and they have the money on the consulting, and they have the money on their fulfillment services on the back end. So there's three ways for them to be able to monetize this as a partner with us.
That's amazing. So with Brand Butler, like you kind of talked about the front end, making that custom marketing plan. And what else can it do for agency owners? Like, what are some of the other benefits of somebody, jumping on there and leveraging it to create more freedom in their life or get their time back or, create automated systems? Tell us more about that.
I like this because this circles us back to kind of the beginning. What I said is I'm a social impact entrepreneur. And the way that we've built out Brand Butler, aside from the frameworks that are for branding, marketing, and sales, is the overall strategy of Brand Butler, and the ethos of Brand Butler is social impact. And everything that we're doing is tied back to purpose. So Chris and I are firm believers, if you couldn't tell by what's behind me, and we believe in purpose, planning, preparation, and production. Those are the 4 stages: purpose, planning, preparation, and production. And what Brand Butler is going to do is all 4 of those stages: help you find your purpose, determine what that is, get clear about that, then help you create the plans you need around that, then prepare everything that you're going to need for those campaigns, and then actually launch those campaigns. So once you've got your plans done, you've now trained an AI bot, which is internal, our AI bot in our system. You've trained that bot up on your branding, your marketing, and your sales. It knows your offers, it knows your strategies, it knows your avatar, your archetype, it knows everything about your brand. And now you say, hey, I want you to write me an email campaign for this offer and for new subscribers, or for my warm market, or for VIP customers, or for existing customers. And you're going to click one of the tools in the email marketing toolbox, and it'll generate that for you with one click. And you'll have your CRM linked to it, which is Lead Butler. You'll link your CRM to it, and it'll automatically just send it over to your CRM and schedule it for you. That's where we're going. We're not there yet, but it's going to schedule it for you. Put it right now. It'll put it into your drafts, but actually send it for you and know what time to send it. That's the next piece that's coming with 3.0. So that's just email marketing stuff. And then you have podcasting tools and YouTube tools and webinar creation tools and branding tools and meme generators. And I mean, you're going to be able to launch your own crypto coin eventually. There's going to be so many things that this system will be able to do. And I'm going to plug in other people's softwares like Syllabi, which is a faceless AI video creator. I'm going to do an API with them and plug that into our system, so that our system overall, what it is for a business, for any business, it doesn't matter if you're a content creator or a huge enterprise, it's a brand operating system. Everybody has a brand. You're a brand. I'm a brand. I have Brand Butler. I have Video Marketing Vault. We all have multiple brands. Some of us only have one brand, but if you don't have an actual business brand, you are the brand. And so this is designed to help everybody from that place all the way up to an enterprise brand like Nike.
So as you're building into it, it kind of collects this this persistent memory, you could say, of all the assets that you're building, and it's able to kind of keep compounding that knowledge onto itself and keep improving over time.
And getting smarter. So that's where I haven't even touched. Many people have never had this conversation with me, but the analytics side. So one thing for people to know is every single one of the branding blueprints and the marketing plans is an indexed page on our platform, in our software, and it's visible to Google. Like, there's some businesses that created their branding blueprints that are still brand new businesses. They have a website, but because Brand Butler has a higher SEO strength, we're outranking them for their own URL. And so it's a publicly indexed, somebody types the name in so they can see their entire branding blueprint or their entire marketing plan that they have. And so it's a publicly ranked. So every single time somebody creates one of those, it's a new page. It's a new index. So in a year from now, when we've had 100,000 users on Brand Butler and they've all got a marketing plan, they've all got a brand input, that's 200,000 pages I'll have indexed on my website, and all of those data points, mission statements, colors, brand messaging, like all that stuff will be able to be researched, and we'll be able to see over time what brands were successful and which ones were not. And we'll be able to collect all kinds of data because we're connected to the CRM. So the amount of the data side of Brand Butler and what we're going to learn about marketing that works and marketing that doesn't, we're going to be able to make the softwares and the prompts and everything smarter over time.
That's pretty amazing. So it's like user generated feedback.
That's right. That's exactly right.
That's so cool. Wow. And then inside you have these, like, for lack of a better term, like AI assistants. Essentially, they're able to carry out different tasks. So what kind of tasks are you able to delegate through the AI that you're building? You mentioned like copywriting as an example.
Yeah. So we have copywriting tools. The kind of terminology that we want to adopt, that we're going to go after, is super agents. Because you have all these little mini agents, like the email agent and the podcasting agent and the social media marketing agent. And inside of social media marketing, you're going to have an X agent. There's going to be a dedicated agent just for X that's watching trending hashtags, trending keywords, that's trying to find them and get ahead of them and make sure that they're posted, and then bringing all that data back and be like, this is how many comments that were placed, or replies that were placed, or posts that were made. This is the amount of impressions that it got. This is the amount of clicks and engagement that it got. And then from there, it's going to be able to see, okay, these posts worked and these ones didn't. And that's going to report back to the main agent. That's the overall social media agent. And then you're going to have the super agent that's going to be taking all those different channels and bringing in all that data from Facebook, from X, from your webinars, from your landing page to your funnels, everything. And it's just going to get smarter over time, and then help you take what your marketing budget is, because it's going to be able to, you're going to be able to put your marketing budget in it. And it's going to take your marketing budget and then be able to have it streamlined and say, hey, you need to divert more of your money over here to Facebook ads versus Google ads, Google search ad. So you're going to be able to optimize your campaign more and more and more over time and make it smarter so you're spending money in the right place.
Wow, that's amazing. So it's going to have like some financial advisory capacity as well to say like, here's what's working, here's what's not working, here's how
Yeah,
to better
more
allocate.
analytics data, like a data agent that gives you recommendations. We want to be careful on advice, but definitely going to give recommendations, just like Google Ads does inside of their Google Ads Manager, where it
Mhm.
gives recommendations to increase performance. We're going to give little tips to people, and so you'll log into the system and like your Jarvis character will talk to you. Good morning, sir. You know, and we recommend that you use this creative because it's going to be able to show inside of the metrics, like out of the 3 ads that you're running on Facebook, which headline did the best, which media type did the best, which one converted the most, and it's going to be able to give you recommendations.
Wow, that's a huge lift because yeah, it takes a lot to kind of pour through that yourself and like figure it out on your own.
That's it. I want to make marketing simple. And I think marketing is going to get simpler and simpler and simpler over time with AI. Like we're at the beginning of something so huge.
So in terms of product roadmap, like where is it at in development and what's kind of the next like 6 to 12 months looking like?
So at the moment, we're version 2.0. Version 1.0 was just originally a website just to be a lead magnet. That was the only goal. Was like, let's just run people through this. We'll get their business information. They're going to invest a bunch of time into building these so that it shows that they actually value what they're doing and they want to put the time into planning this. And then we quickly got feedback from all the focus groups we did, and we're like, whoa, okay, it's time to make this change, that change. We made a bunch of changes to it, and we launched 2.0. And that was back in July. Oh, no, July. Sorry. That was January 6th. We launched 2.0, so not long ago. And since then, we've seen this rise in blockchain and crypto, and we're launching our own coin. We have our skill stacker coin, but now we're going to launch a brand butler coin. And we see the value of tokenization and pay per usage versus just a flat subscription model. So now what the next stage is we're going to we built out basically the big thing that happened with 2.0 was the campaign toolbox. We built out the toolbox. We added a bunch of tools. We got deeper into the offers. We revamped the branding blueprint. We made some small tweaks to the prompts and the marketing plan. And that was the big thing. We gave people more visibility. We made a bunch of guides. Like we did a bunch of changes. But now 3.0 is where we actually build a physical app where you can download it onto one of the stores. And then from there, you're going to have more features, more tools, bringing in other stuff, and that's where we're going to actually start having like the AI agents and the AI bots, where it will not just be you having to hit a button and send it over to the lead butler CRM. You're actually just you're gonna click that button and it's gonna do everything for you, right? You don't have to it doesn't just send it as a draft in there. It actually posts it, schedules it. That's the next stage with 3.0,
Wow.
and
And
that's
I'm
set
curious,
for October.
set for October. Cool. So I'm curious, how does the tokenization play into it and what gave you that idea? Because that's kind of a unique angle that I don't really hear anyone talking about.
This is what puts us in a category of one, and that's what I'm always trying to do is differentiate myself. We're so early to tokenization in businesses. 5 years from now, tokens will be as important as your website. They are
Hmm.
going to be, everybody should already have their own currency that they're using in their business. So, for example, somebody comes onto your podcast and you're like, hey, man, thank you so much for being on my podcast. Here's 1,000 Nathan coin, or here's 2,000 Nathan coin, or 5,000 Nathan coin. That might not be worth a lot right now, especially if you launch it on something like Pump Fund. It may be 0.00006, and it may be only $30 worth or $10 worth of that coin. Right? But if you're holding that supply, it costs you nothing because it's your supply, and you can allocate a certain amount of those tokens to your podcast guests and say, hey, this is a pool that I'm using for guests and interviews and things like that. But as that token continues to increase in value and more of that supply is taken up, now can get used. So it's like if you have an event in the future, like I'm doing right now, hey, you want to come to my event? If you're holding 1,000,000 of my coin, you can come to my event for free. So somebody can go over to Phantom Wallet, to Pump Fund, Soul Scale. They can go to a bunch of different places right now, and they can buy my Skill Stacker coin. And for a million coins, they're going to spend, I think, 80, $100, somewhere like that, in that range right now for 100 coins. But when that market cap for my coin is at $1,000,000, those same million coins are going to be like $2,000. It's going to be worth a lot more. So that coin can increase in value, and the next thing you know, you have an ecosystem within Solana where As long as you have a coin, you can trade your Nathan coin for my Skill Stacker coin or Skill Stacker coin for Brand Butler coin. And you can use your coin inside of my Brand Butler system. And next thing you know, we're just using that instead of using actual USD from our bank accounts. That's
Interesting.
where things are headed is crypto, blockchain, decentralization, transparency, because it gives the power back to us. It gives the power back to the people, not the banks, not these intermediate. Like we don't make anything in the banks on our money. We lose money with inflation, right? We're losing money by keeping our money in the banks.
Mhm.
8% per year. That doesn't have to happen anymore. You can make money on your money in the blockchain, in the crypto world.
Yeah, that's super interesting. And like I've heard different influencers talk about this. I know like Andrew Tate launched his own coin.
Mm-hmm.
Trump launched his own coin before, the inauguration. So it's interesting because there's kind of this belief that like your personal coin is like your personal stock almost. And like the more you create in the world and the more you give in the world, the more the value of that quote stock increases. So I'm curious to hear kind of your take on all that.
So that's exactly what it is you're building stock in your brand, right? So that's why brand is going to be more important than ever is people, it's an intrinsic value, crypto and blockchain, right? People believe, right? A certain amount of people believe that Bitcoin is worth $95,000, I think is roughly what it's at. They believed a month ago, they believed that it was at $100,000 for one Bitcoin because it was a consensus based group of people, millions and millions of people that all said, yeah, I'm going to put my USD and my currency into this system, and I believe that it's worth $100,000. And based off that technology and blockchain of all those people buying with the fixed supply that we have, now all of a sudden that price continues to increase. And as more people jump in with that fixed supply, 100,000, 200,000, and eventually Bitcoin will probably be in the $500,000 range. That's a real that's a real reality. That's not
Yeah.
like maybe, it's just a matter of time. 10, 15 years from now, when it's an everyday thing and everybody has it and there's Bitcoin ATMs and Bitcoin's accepted at your bank. Like when Bitcoin and payroll goes on chain, it's over. Mark my words. When Bitcoin and blockchain and cryptocurrency goes on payroll, when you are able to go to your job and they go, how do you want to get paid? You're like, oh, I want to get paid in Bitcoin. Cool. Your next paycheck will be directly deposited into your Bitcoin account, into your Bitcoin wallet. Give me your wallet. Cool. Here's my wallet. And you give them your Bitcoin wallet address, and boom, now you're paid in that every week. That's when we're going to know we've reached mass adoption, and you're going to see just a massive flood.
Wow. Yeah, I haven't even considered that. I know some people, I think there was like one mayor, I think it was in New York, where he started accepting payments in Bitcoin or something like that for his term. So it's interesting, man, the direction that things are going in.
Yep. I mean, if there's a billion skill stacker coins and I were to own 50% of them, and my market cap is, let's just say $1 million, that means I have $500,000 worth of capital and liquidity inside of that coin. If I want to go pay a designer on my team, hey, I'll give you $1,000 in USD, or I'll give you $2,000 in my coin. What are you more interested in? if
Mm,
if they're a cutting edge person like I am, they're probably going to take the crypto coin because they know the crypto coin is going to increase like it has
mm,
over the long time. Will it dip? Sure, but if as long as they don't sell it, they're never going to lose money. It's you only lose money when you sell, right?
mhm,
So as long as they don't sell it, they won't lose money, and so they can just hold that until it becomes that 2,000 becomes 4,000 or 5,000 or even 2,500 or 2,200. It's going to do a lot more, right? A lot of coins that we've been looking at lately have like a 28-30% growth year over year average.
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, the crypto market's booming.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious, man, like kind of reeling this in, kind of bringing it back to the agency owners who are listening. Um, In terms of AI, like how do you suggest that agency owners start implementing AI now to get an edge in what they do?
I think it's easy to get caught up in the tools. So I want to make sure that I take the thought process around the tools off the table. And instead, we think about the prompts and the core fundamentals of having that clear brand strategy, having that marketing plan, and having your sales dialed in. If those three things are dialed and you have a solid foundation to build your house on, then from there it's about then automating the different processes and systems in your business that are low level tasks. There's so many things between Zapier, Make, Go high level CRMs, funnel softwares, email marketing softwares, there's so many tasks in your business where you could literally take 80% of the things that you do on a day-to-day basis. If it happens more than 3 times and it has more than 3 steps, it should be delegated, right?
Mm.
So many of those tasks that you're going to be able to take. And so just start with one. Start with one task. Maybe it's posting on your X profile, or maybe it's posting on your Facebook, or maybe it's, resharing stuff that you're doing. Automate something with AI in your business and play around with it, fine tune it, get it right, get comfortable, and start learning how to do prompting, because I think prompting is going to be an entire industry of how prompts are done. Some of our prompts for Brand Butler are, I think Chris said one of them is like 14 pages, and that one references another prompt that's 8 pages. I mean,
Wow.
we have prompts that are multiple pages, like 10, 20. I think there's one that's like 28-page prompt. So I think it's the chatbot prompt that we have is like 28 pages. It's insane. It has every piece of knowledge and information on everything that we do, from branding, marketing, sales, and everything in between. It's a really deep prompt, and it has a lot of the tools that we're building. There's prompts for the toolbox as well. A lot of the tools that we're building are built off of 3 experts. So it's an opportunity for my goal is to collaborate with those experts and to bring them in as affiliate partners and collaborative partners like Ryan Dice and Perry Belchers, people like that, where it's like, hey, and Amy Porterfield's like, hey, our email bot and our email agents that we have are built off of 3 experts. Amy Porterfield, Ryan Dice, and Perry Belcher. You can't really get a better stack of email marketers than that, right? And we have for each of them, and then we have a master prompt that works through all 3 prompts and blends them together. So we've got super down the rabbit hole on that. And then there's the technical side of things with how those emails are sent out and segmentation and more of the technical stuff too. So there's some prompting around that as well.
Yeah, so AI for making posts, I haven't leveraged that, haven't really heard of that yet. I mean, obviously for copywriting, but for the actual posting, like how is that carried out?
So let me give you a little example of how that would work. So let's just say we did an API, and I probably don't even need an API to be honest, but let's just say we have some sort of an API, or I have a Zapier connection or something to Syllabi. Well, I would build a tool, and it would say, create a video for my intro offer. And it would say, select your intro offer. You pick your intro offer and you hit generate. What my the AI agent is going to do is it's going to go over and log in to the Syllabi account that we have. It's going to actually carry out each of the tasks. So it's going to pick the subtitles based on the colors for my brand that were already selected in the branding blueprint. It's going to pick the style and personality based on the tone of voice and the archetype that's inside of my branding blueprint, which that's an option inside of there. So that's going to help it select what kind of voice that it's going to use, because you have the drop down inside of Syllabi of all the different voices. And then it's going to pick the artwork style that you have and show the artwork style inside there as well. So you can pick comic book or fantasy or hyper realism or Lego characters, whatever that part of your brand is. So it's going to select that, and then it's going to drop in a script and paste the script in that comes from Brand Butler into that tool, and then generate it, and then export the video back out, upload it into Brand Butler, and then use the social media marketing tools inside of the CRM to actually post that. Like there's going to be multiple AI agents that are going to carry out every single one of those tasks. Now that's a lot of tasks and a lot of time to build out that agent, right? That's one, but that is what's coming. That is what we're working on.
That's amazing. So that replaces your social media VA pretty much.
It'll literally post a faceless YouTube video that you didn't even generate yourself
Wow, the click of a button.
with a click of a button.
What a world. Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, I've been using AI more and more lately, and I've dabbled with building some custom GPTs and giving them like a persistent memory and a strong memory bank to pull from. And I mean, I find it's great for like bouncing ideas, refining ideas,
Yep.
getting feedback and improvements on things. Don't love it for like straight up content generation. I find that that's not always the best use, but for taking your own original ideas and making them better, it's
There it
pretty
is.
epic.
Yeah, I see this posted around online all the time. So I've been saying it a lot too, is AI is here to help us think deeper, not to
Mm.
take a shortcut. Right? Experts use AI to think deeper, and amateurs use AI to think less. Right? And that's the way that you should be thinking about AI. Is I took my already kick-ass branding framework and I made it even better. I took my
Mm.
marketing framework and I made it even better. I took my sales framework and I made it even better. And then I said, how can now all these work better together? And then I made those work better together. Now, how can I build an interface that answers questions. So then I ended up coming up with the idea, okay, I'll just take every single one of my Zoom recordings from every single consultation that I've done over the last 3 years, brand consultations, marketing consultations, client consultations. I'll take the transcripts from every single one of them, train an AI bot, an AI agent on all of that information, and then ask it, what are the most common questions that I ask during my sessions that provide the greatest outcomes and best client feedback? Because I ask at the very end of all my sessions, hey, what did you like from this? What did you think was valuable? I'm taking all that and they're giving me that information back. So I have all this great knowledge and information of what they find valuable. And then I'm training a bot on how to ask questions that give them that same outcome that's predictable, right? Predictable outcomes. That's where success in marketing is having a predictable outcome, which a lot of people say you can't predict with marketing. And there's some truth to that because people are in the middle of that. But the less you have people in the mix of that, like Google's got an AI agent that they released a while back. I was just looking at the website where with phone calls, like you saw Air AI advertising for it for a while. Theirs was a fraudulent, phony software, but Google has their own. It's like Titanium, or I think it's like Google Titanium. I'll have to look it up. But there's an AI tool that will literally have phone conversations and call restaurants and make reservations for you.
What?
And it sounds so good. Like it's almost like if you have an everyday person that's never used AI, I guarantee you 100% they will have no clue because it even says, let me think about that. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure. Like it acts just like a human. It's freaking unreal. So we'll end up building that API into our system, and you'll be able to have outbound phone calls that are AI bots making outbound phone calls and prospecting for you. Like there's so much. I'm building $1 billion brand, bro.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So where do you think all this is going with AI, and like what does it mean for the common person in the marketplace? Like I'm adopting it like in the way that we just talked about, like getting better, refining, improving, thinking deeper, but it's gonna replace a lot of people or kind of create a huge gap. So what do you think, where do you think this is all going, and like what does it mean for the average person?
Well, the people making horseshoes and training horses and all that saw a huge decline in their business when cars became mass production. And it's going to be the same thing we're seeing with AI. We're going to see a massive shift in the workforce where 40 million people are going to need to reskill. 87 million jobs are going to be replaced by AI. But the beautiful part is, like every innovation, over 95 million, that's just the initial estimates, over 95 million new jobs are going to be created. So a lot of everyday people, they're going to need to reskill, but a bunch of new jobs are going to be created in the marketplace for people to go learn and become AI ethics, data analysts, prompt engineers. There's going to be so many new roles that are created. Tokenization. You're going to see agencies that specialize in just helping Web 2 brands go to Web 3 brands and tokenize their business. Like there's going to be all kinds of new pop-up industries and things that happen from this. And so I think that people need to start learning this now. Now is the time. And people that are watching this in 6 months or a year from now, like they're going to be behind for sure if they wait that long to start really implementing this. And I think that the roles that are going to be highest value are going to be the ones that have a lot of clarity around purpose, because so many jobs are going to be eliminated. Email marketing, social media jobs, social media marketing, copywriting, with all those jobs being eliminated, and I don't have to do those tasks, or I don't have to hire those tasks or manage those people now, that's going to give me an opportunity to spend time doing the things that actually matter. We spend so much time doing things that don't actually matter. Like if you were to audit your day Monday through Friday from the time you work to the time you're done every day and tracked every single task and activity and then went back and audited those and looked at how many of the things that you do that don't matter, like do we really need to check my phone and check my email 6 times a day? Do I really need to check my Facebook 5 times a day? What is it that I'm looking for? A dopamine hit? Like you take a minute at a time, 2 minutes at a time, 5 minutes at a time. If you check your Facebook page 10 times, or your Instagram or your Twitter or your X or your TikTok or your YouTube, like if you're checking all these platforms each once a day, you've lost 30 minutes of your day. What if you don't have to do that anymore? Right? Follow-up calls. What if you don't have to make follow-up calls? What if there's a system that's automatically has your voice and is making follow-up calls for you 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times and actually knows how many times it's going to take to get to Johnny the plumber, and knows how many follow-up calls it needs to make in order to convert that to a sale? because it's got predictable data and can see that. Like so many things are going to be changing. And a lot of the tasks that I hate doing, I'm no longer going to have to do, which is awesome. So it makes more room for meaningful stuff. And that could be hanging out with my daughter and jumping on the trampoline, or that could be me making more content or working on my book or working with more at-risk youth. Like those are the things that we're going to have the ability to do. I just finished reading for the second time Ray Kurzweil's book Singularity is Near, and he talks a lot about universal basic income, which is actually a good thing. I thought it was a bad thing for a long time. He talks about universal basic income and how none of us should have to worry and will not have to worry anymore because of AI about paying our bills. Like that's going to be taken care of. AI is going to bring enough innovation and enough money and enough solutions in the marketplace where we will have a universal basic income where AI will pay our bills. And from there, the money that we make is the impact that we make and relationships that we have and the like life. We're moving into what they're calling the golden era and the golden age. We're going to see the best time in history with what's happening with AI.
So good. Yeah, and I think, for people who are already excellent at what they do, and like in your example, you are effectively cloning yourself in some ways and creating an opportunity to get your time back, like you're talking about, but also multiply your productivity, which is insane. So, I mean, in my own world, I'm considering like, okay, it used to be that I could make like this much money working with one business and having like a really high touch service. But now I can do it with like 5 businesses and
Sure.
leverage AI for a lot of the help. So I can effectively multiply my income by being, excellent at what I do, have my frameworks, be super dialed, and then have AI as assistants, and then maybe a small team of VAs, and it's like game over.
That's it. You just manage, and there are literally HR AI employees now that are AI bots that are hiring people and are hiring other AI bots. That's what's already happened. Like this stuff is happening already. Big corporations, big enterprises are literally deploying HR AI agents that are hiring other AI agents to complete tasks.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
That's wild, man.
it's insane.
So, I mean, wow, this has been pretty expensive conversation. So I guess kind of winding things down a little bit, like what would you recommend for the average agency owner who's out there? They're doing like pay-per-click, SEO, web development. Like, what are some practical steps they can take right now to start implementing AI in their agency and get back their time and be more productive and increase profits and all that good stuff?
This is a really important question, a really important question. And I want to kind of slow down a little bit because the importance of this cannot be understated. If you're an agency owner, many of you are doing consulting and giving advice and giving strategies and giving tactics and spending time helping businesses for $0. I know it because I see it. I was living it. I did it myself. And if you're not positioning yourself as an authority in the space and charging for that upfront consulting session with a money back guarantee, and you're not charging for that and positioning yourself as an AI brand consultant or a just any kind of AI consultant or a brand consultant, marketing consultant, however you want to position that. But AI consultant, if you're not positioning yourself as that right now and giving people the fundamentals of how this works and how they can leverage it for their business, you're missing out on the gold rush. That's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing an AI gold rush, and we're at the beginning of it. So I'm going to be selling picks and shovels because that's what the smart people do with the software is we're selling the picks and shovels to help those consultants actually have a tool that brings everything into one place and isn't just some endless rabbit hole of chat GPT. And I don't know if this strategy is going to work. I don't know if this prompt is good. I don't know if this is giving me good information or if these stats are even relevant. You can take all that guesswork out of it. And now you know for a fact that this is going to be successful for you. So that's a really big piece that they need to consider is building a consulting business behind their agency for their personal brand.
Smart. And so in terms of the actual like implementation of the AI, like, what do you suggest for somebody who's like aware of it, but they haven't really fully leveraged its capabilities yet?
They need to, one, start surrounding themselves with other people who are doing it. People like Jeff Hunter, people like myself, people like Julie McCoy, people like Mark DeGrasse from Digital Marketer, AI Branding Academy. Like they need to put themselves around other people who are out there crushing it in the space and just start doing it consistently. If it's 10 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, we can all spend 10 minutes a day. We spend 10 minutes a day on our phone. So you can take 10 minutes a day and just make sure that you're diligent throughout the week of doing something, learning something, watching a YouTube video on it, like making sure you're progressing your skill sets, because it's what compounds over time. If you just
Mm.
watch one 10-minute video today and you don't do it again, you're not going to be, not only are you not going to be an AI expert, but you're not going to really grow from that. You have to do it consistently day in and day out and get 1% better per day over the course of 365 days. That's 365% growth, right? That's what we want. You want that exponential growth over that longer time horizon. So that would be my thing, is to make it a priority, because it's going to change and disrupt everything that you think you know about the job market and where jobs are headed. Even my predictions, like everything I'm saying, you take it with a grain of salt. Like things could radically change tomorrow, and augmented reality could somehow merge with AI, and everything could be completely different than what's happening today. That's just, things happen so quickly. I don't know where this is going to go, but I'm speculating. But I believe from what I've seen and spotting the patterns and being in the circles with all these experts like Austin Armstrong and all the other AI people, Jonathan Mast, I see where this is going, and I can see it pretty clearly, probably clearer than most.
Yeah, and I think too, like it's still going to be really relevant to evolve your skill set as a whole, because even when I'm working with AI, like today, for example, I was running a DM script by it and it gave me some ideas back that I were like, these aren't really good. Like these are not great ideas. Like some
That's
of
right.
it's better, some of it's worse. So being able to work with the AI with your own knowledge of like what actually works is going to be huge too, I think. So like the smarter you are and the better you're able to leverage that to get better outputs, I think is going to be a huge skill.
Yeah, I mean, I could have done my certification program and taught them just how to use the software and start charge them the same amount. I mean, I didn't share that before, but they pay me. I'm not paying them to become my consultants. They're paying me to become my consultants, which is a very unique angle and approach that I took to this whole thing. Like they're paying to have a license to be able to sell and be able to earn those commissions on the recurring fulfillment revenue on the back end. And right now it's low, and that price is going to continue to go up. And so these people that are coming in, they could just know the software, but because I'm teaching them those fundamentals, teaching them the fundamentals of brand strategy, of marketing, of sales, of offers, and all this stuff, they're going to be a lot more deadly than the average guy that just learned how to use the tool and now
Mm.
just trusting what the tool is giving. You're the guide for AI. AI is not the guide for you. That's
Yes, that's
that's the
key.
secret there. Yeah.
100%, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we got like 5 minutes left here. So just wondering, in terms of, your advice to the agency owners out there who are at like the multi 6 to 7 figure level, who, they want more time back, they want to scale without burning out, they want to leverage AI to its full capacity. Like, what are three solid pieces of advice that you would give them?
Great question. I think one of the best secrets of my life, and I can only speak for myself, and this just comes from my own experiences of life, is the thing that we heard in elementary school: keep it simple, stupid. Kiss. Right? In a time where everything is so complicated, the noise is so loud, the ads are so fatigued, that there's just so much information that we're being inundated with. The edge that you have and the edge that I'm giving people is to just keep it simple. And that's the beauty and the brilliance behind Brand Butler. Is it's taking all the genius of 20 years, dozens, I should say hundreds of books that I've read, Ultimate Sales Machine, all of Russell's books, like it's just book after book. It's taking all of that wisdom, right, which is really valuable, not just knowledge, but wisdom from real lived experience, is taking all that and building a super simple framework. Here's your framework for branding, here's your framework for marketing, and here's your framework for sales. And it's a proven framework. And so being able to simplify your business, pick one of those, and then just start going down that pipeline with how you can implement AI into that. I want to use AI today to help me craft my story better. I think I can improve my story. Well, I happen to have a custom GPT. You can go and look. It's the StoryBrand GPT. I have a read power method. I think I call it the read power method GPT that I built on ChatGPT, where it can help you create your pitch. It asks you one question at a time, and it develops your whole initial pitch with somebody. If you don't want to have to go through the ChatGPTs and look for it, try to find it, then you can go to brandbutler.ai and just everything's trained on that already as it is. but I've got over 30, I think 30 custom GPTs that I've built now inside of ChatGPT. So just start making your own GPTs and pick one part of your business that you can start implementing that in. The second thing with ChatGPT, or not ChatGPT, but with AI and using this as an agency owner, 6-7 figure business, is I think a lot of people are thinking about this for top line revenue and lead generation and content creation and all that. I think that's great. My big focus is top line revenue, just the person that I am as a campaigner. But I've also learned from Dighton Bradford, who I talked about at the beginning of this, the value of your bottom line revenue. Maybe you have 2 or 3 people as an agent in your agency right now that are on your team. They're an absolute waste. You have to hold their hand. They don't follow through. They call in sick. They say my internet's down. They live in the Philippines. They have blackouts. Like maybe you're dealing with a bunch of nightmares, and hopefully nobody's listening to this that has like hundreds of employees out there in the Philippines that are dealing with this. But this is your opportunity to lower your overhead and to replace some of those people. And that kind of sounds harsh, but they need to increase their skills. That's not your fault. You don't have to carry that burden. That's not an emotion that you should be carrying with you in your business. You have an opportunity to lower your overhead. My overhead went from about $50,000-$60,000 a month down to about $35,000 a month,
Wow.
and making the same amount of money that I was making before, thanks to AI. So not only did my income double when AI hit mass market the way that it did, but then my bottom line decreased by $15,000-$20,000 a month.
Wow.
So
Amazing.
that would be a second thing. And then the last thing I would say, I would want to focus probably on fulfillment. I think that there's an opportunity to take your clients that you already have and go back and say, hey, listen, a lot of things have changed over the last year, and this is a sales opportunity too. A lot of things have changed over the last year with AI, and I've learned some different tools and some different tactics and some different strategies with AI that I think can give us better overall performance while not even having to increase your costs. And I think that we could try some of these things out and see if you want to try out maybe doing some content creation, or maybe doing some video marketing and leveraging YouTube, or maybe we can try doing consistent articles, and we do some SEO for you. It's an opportunity to go back and upsell and do those additional services now, because it doesn't take you a whole lot more time, and go back and sell them a branding blueprint, go back and sell them a marketing plan, and show them all the different tools that you have access to now with Brand Butler. This is an upsell opportunity, as well as to be able to improve the current fulfillment that you have and say, hey, I found some new tools, and give them an exciting update. Like, how many clients would love to hear, I found a really cool video marketing tool where you don't even need to be on camera, and we get your brand message down, your marketing plan down. We could put some scripts together, and then we have an AI, and we could just start posting these videos for you. And I could charge you like, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month, depending on who the client is. And it's an opportunity there to add more value to your clients, or adjust your current offers for new clients that come in and add that as part of your stack. Like there's lots of opportunities here.
100%. Yeah. And what you said is smart with upselling the existing clients. You could even do like a beta group to test it and like make sure that it's solid before you roll it out at full price, stuff like that. So you can kind
A
of
wait
go
list.
and
Yep. Yep.
smart, man. Well, if people want to get in touch with you, if they want to learn more about Brand Butler and what you do, what's the best way for them to do that?
Place I always send people is Adrian Boysel, Boysel.com. That's my main site. If you want to use the software, it's brandbutler.ai. That's our AI software. It has the planning tools as well as the campaign toolbox to help you execute those campaigns. We're building more and more tools every day, working tirelessly on this. We have our crypto coin jumping and launching on the 3rd of March. And then outside of that, if you want free information, if you're in that stage of your business where you're like, I can't afford anything right now, but I want to get up on my feet and I want to get this thing rolling, then go learn for free on YouTube. And I have over 400 videos on my YouTube channel where I've taught pretty much everything I've talked about today and more on my YouTube channel completely for free. I've just been giving it away for years, and it's changed my life, and I know it's changed a lot of other lives. So those would be the 3 things: is my website, Brand Butler, and then YouTube.
Amazing. They can just search Adrian Boysel and YouTube will come up.
Yep. That's it.
Cool, brother. Well, hey, it's been great talking with you, man. Glad we got to
Thanks for having
connect,
me.
and thanks so much for being on.
Appreciate you having me, and excited to connect with you. And if you guys need anything, holler out. Let me know.
Will do.
All right. God bless.